It's safe to say that there is a lot of confusion in regards to the death of Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now Marvel Studios producer tries to clarify his death, and I'm gonna put death into quotation marks because that's sort of what he does. So this comes at us from Marvel Studios producer Stephen Broussard, who was recently talking on the D23 Insider Disney podcast about the most recent MCU film. And they specifically talked a little bit about the Council of Kangs, which of course was the post-credit scene, and talking about the death of a Kang. And what he says is that if you look at all the Kangs and what was said in Loki, that Kangs are of course rivals. There is a rivalry between them, but they all like to keep tabs on one another, and when one ends up falling, that they will all react in more or less the same way because they are all one. And he says the interesting thing here to look at is Kang in the comics, and also how all these Kangs sort of squabble between one another, and how we saw that in the post-credit scene. And he says that there's a lot more things that there is to explore in terms of the multiverse, in terms of what He Who Remains was saying, in terms of what we're going to get in future projects that involve Kang, and how this can all apply to the multiverse and the bigger picture. So is Kang dead? He says, depends on how you look at it. So let's just take that as a no. Again, they could take him literally from the moment of his death. When he starts to get pulled into that machine, he can shrink further and they can go and get him. There's all sorts of ways to get Kang out of the quantum realm where they literally threw him. So it's one of these things where you got to look at the bigger picture and realize that he's probably not dead. He's just going to be very hurt. And at any moment, they can pull him back, especially his vast knowledge in terms of what he was able to do in there and the empire that he built while he was exiled. Very resourceful. They're going to need a very resourceful Kang, especially when another Kang tries to overthrow the entire council, which will happen because that's what Kangs do. So I think his answer sort of goes hand in hand with the rest of the Marvel Studios crew and what they've said. Is he dead? Well, why don't you wait and see, because is Kang truly ever really dead?